When you're finished harnessing, you're going to want to walk the horse around the arena to warm them up and then ensure that nothing in the arena, any of the corners, are going to spook the horse. Make sure you do that walking in both directions. Once you're ready to hitch, bring the horse around in front of the carriage and then straighten them up and stop them. Make sure you never back up the horse because it could break one of the shafts and also spook the horse. 3 primary rules of safety while hitching are to always have someone head the horse. The driver is always the first one in the carriage and the last one out of the carriage with reins in hand. And lastly, you never want to take the bridle or reins off of a hitched horse. Once the horse is in front of the carriage, slowly pick up the shafts and bring them forward and place them into the tugs on each side of the horse. You can vocalize with the horse while you are right behind him and bringing the shafts forward, but never cluck because that'll confuse him. The first part of the harness that you want to attach to the carriage are the traces. Bring the traces through any kind of trace carrier, whether it be on the shafts or on the harness, and then connect the screw hole to the single tree on both sides. There should be about a foot between the hind end of the horse and the front of the carriage. If the tugs are being pushed forward in front of the saddle, then that means that the traces are too long. If they are pulled back behind the saddle, that means the traces are too short. You also want to make sure that the end of the shafts are not going past the point of the shoulder. You may adjust the tugs depending on whether the carriage is being held too high or too low, and the way to check that is to make sure that the seat and the floor of the carriage are parallel to the ground. The next part of the harness that you want to attach is the breeching. Bring the breeching strap underneath the traces and through the breeching D on the shaft. Once you bring it up, you're going to want to wrap it towards the head of the horse, and then bring it through the last wrap and connect it to the keeper. Each horse will have a personalized amount of wraps on the shaft, and then a certain hole on the breeching strap. The way to check if the breeching is fitting correctly is to put a hand's width in between the breeching and the hind end of the horse. The last thing to connect is the overgirth. Make sure that the girth is snug before you even hitch the horse. And then when you connect the overgirth, put the strap behind the girth so that it doesn't pinch the horse. The overgirth should be tight enough so that the shafts do not bounce, but loose enough that you can pick it up easily. And that completes the steps on how to hitch a single horse. The process of unhitching a single horse is the exact opposite of hitching. Once you have put your whip down and gotten out of the carriage, you can fold up your reins and put them into the rein turrets. Then the first thing you do is undo the overgirth. Next, you can undo the breeching and put the straps back in their keepers. And then you can undo the traces from the single tree. Once you have secured the traces in the backstrap keeper, you can take the shafts and pull them out of the tugs, bring them up higher than the horse, and slowly back up. Okay, so the camera's only getting his butt?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna back him up, obviously.
Well, you're not supposed to back him up.
I know.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Well, I walked him out, like, yay, and now we're finished. Woohoo!